Hello guys, and welcome on into another one of these Keystone videos. This was first week, right, of season 2. Quite interesting stuff. I was really excited to try some new affixes and all of that. There's a lot to talk about. One more thing that I would like to mention though, despite like all the new stuff, is something else new for me was playing Holy, like I did in the Sanguine Depths, the previous key I uploaded. So I like to mention that because I just want to make sure that it's very clear that my playstyle could definitely be improved here. As you can see me here, like I'm already losing tank, but we managed to hold on. It was kind of tight, but I guess this pool is meant to be tight. I had to use both Guardian and Tuft to keep him alive, and here with the Clutch Dispel, it's just been different from what I'm used to. As a Holy Paladin, usually you do not have issues healing tanks, and as a disc, it's kind of not even your job, like you don't have that many tools, but you do have pain suppression, and I like to think of Guardian Spirit as pain suppression in one way. In some way, I guess is what I meant to say, but it's really not, because Guardian is there to kind of like increase healing, and if the tank doesn't have healing from the get-go, then you're not really doing that much for him. For example, I found it to have like a pretty good synergy with like high leech tanks, like, you know, like your DH, your DK. They benefit a lot, but I found it that monks and warriors not as much. I could be wrong. As I said, like my data isn't that big yet. I haven't done that many keys yet, but that is something I observed so far. But yeah, since it's Tyrannical, I was trying to kind of like low-key save CDs for the first boss, and here we face the first of these Tormentors, or however they're called, the Tormented. And this guy is relatively easy, especially for us priests. We have like a little cheat code for this guy where we can just mass dispel, so you can like dispel one and then wait for the second cast, and then you can see me doing the mass dispel. And like if your group is any decent by that time, this guy is gonna be dead, but you'll have to do like 1 or 2 more dispels at best, or at worst I should say. Things did get like a little bit dicey. You can see here like he does deal a lot of damage, but it's not that big of a deal, and you know, I still had a apotheosis, I don't know how this spell is called, the one that resets your words and like reduces their CD. Apotheosis, I guess it's called, something like that. But yeah, basically Spires, I heard, got some nerfs which were noticeable, I feel like. Sorry. But yeah, like more or less it really is very similar to previous season. There's not that many changes. Also, I want to mention that this key I've done with Birkin as well. I'll leave his link, YouTube description down below as well, if you guys want to go and subscribe or check out his videos for Frost Mage POV. He's really good. As you can see on the damage meters, he will most of the time be on top. First boss, I was kind of cocky, to be honest, because I feel like as a Holy Priest you have a lot of spot healing, and this tank is a bit of this boss is a bit of a tank shredder. There's really not that many mechanics that are going on the rest of the raid, so I was like, yeah, there's no way, you know, I lose a tank. And I was wrong, as you will see later. Yeah, just gotta be careful. I don't know, like I'm not really that big of a fan of warrior tanks. I know people have been speculating they're gonna be amazing this season, and Maybe they are, but I just find them like they seem tanky, and then they just like drop from hero to zero in literally a second. And as a, I mean, as a Holy Priest, that's not even that big of an issue. But like as a disc, for example, or yeah, as a disc, mostly, like I would be terrified if I saw my tank go from like 100 to like 10% HP in one hit. That would be very scary. But yeah, it's just something you have to be prepared for. This boss is a tank shredder, especially on Tyrannical 17, so just something to be ready for. I'm not gonna talk throughout the whole dungeon. I just wanted to do a little introduction there. I'll let you guys watch, and if there's anything notable to talk about, I will mention it. If you got any questions about the spec, about gameplay, feel free to, you know, comment. If you wanna say something nice, say something bad, feel free to. Yeah, thank you for watching, and hopefully you guys will enjoy the video. And yeah, this is where things got a little bad. Tank started dropping and I felt pressured to heal him, and I had no instants available, so I just had to cast there, and I got hit by the ball. And then he ended up dying as well. And you can see me pressing my tuft there. See there goes to show my inexperience in as a Holy Priest. Like, yeah, you can't use items in ghost form, which I didn't know, or at least I wasn't able to. So it makes sense, right? But yeah, it's not something I knew, so I tried to tuft him instead of focusing on what else I could have done, and I didn't notice that I could have actually used Serenity. I had the Holy Word Serenity came off CD when I casted that last heal. It reduced it, but I didn't notice, and that's something I need to fix on my UI, for example. Something I'll put some effort into. The main issue for me right now is I'm not sure if I want to play Disc or Holy. I tried out Holy as a joke, sort of, because I wasn't sure how viable Disc will be after the spiritual changes, so I don't know why. I just tried Holy because people have been saying it's good in M+, and honestly I've had a lot of fun, and I feel like in Pugs I can do more, because I feel like Disc requires much more organized play than Holy does. Holy is just like an HPS machine. Plus, I feel like it has less mana problems, which is important in dungeons, because not all tanks are very keen on waiting, and all groups, as you can see here, which is fine. It's fine if they know what they're doing, like they don't have to wait for you always. But I feel like yesterday, for example, I did a key, and one of the main wipes we had was because I said, give me a second guys, I'm eating, and they said no time, and pulled and then died. And it's like, I mean, okay, you know, but I get the need for speed, but would you rather wait me 10 seconds to get the mana? Because it literally does not take longer than 10 seconds. I know it feels longer when you're trying to rush, but it's not longer than 10 seconds. So would you rather wait your healer for like 10 seconds, or would you rather go and risk dying and wasting in even more time? It's just logic. Like, don't do that. It's not worth it. You need your healer, okay? Like, there are some pulls in which you actually don't need a healer, but in most of the pulls you need a healer. And also, I want to commend this tank here for positioning. He did a very good job at keeping mobs in the blizzard. So I know Birkin was really happy about it. He got all excited that a tank actually pays attention to his AoE. But yeah, essentially Holy, from what I got from playing it so far, essentially it comes down to a couple of things. There's few CDs to manage. The main ones are him, Symbol, right? And then we have Ascended Boom with from Kyrian. That's a big one as well. I'm actually underutilizing that quite a lot, because as a disc it just fits into your like atonement healing, so it's very natural usage. But as a holy, oftentimes you find yourself like casting it and then spending global CDs on healing instead of. And here we had no interrupt, so that was very scary. Luckily it was Tyrannical, not fortified. But yeah, just in general, just a few CDs to manage. There's also Apotheosis, I think it's called, it resets your holy words. That's a big one, for example. That's a huge CD that I, as every new player to a class, I like hold it, and I end up holding it too much because I don't want to waste it. But in a lot of these cases, this tank could have been so much more comfortable if I just popped it from time to time, a little bit more often. You know, so that's something I want to like get more comfortable with, just kind of like using it, because throughout this dungeon I think I use it maybe 3 times or something, and like it's like a 40-minute dungeon and it's a 2-minute CD, so I could have used it like at least 17-18 times and not 4 times. So just think about all the output that's lost. It's crazy. It really is crazy. You gotta use your CDs. It's better to click them and misuse them, I think, than just hold them, in my opinion. It's like, I know the train of thought is like, well, yeah, but I won't have it when I need it. Yeah, that's true. There's truth in that. You should just blindly press your CDs, but that's why you organize, right? That's where the experience comes from, and that's why I like to mention at start of these keys that I am not experienced wholly, so my CD usage is gonna be very bad. Like, it could have been so much better. Holding CDs is in general something that's not very good and should be fixed. If you're like me and you're doing that a lot, you're losing a lot of potential output, whether you're a healer or DPS or a tank. Just press your abilities. And here we're heading for one of the harder pulls. You can see it's no coincidence that I've kept him and PI for this, and Apotheosis if needed. And because I know that this pull is gonna be hard, you can see that I'm also trying to like, I'm not really DPSing much. I usually DPS much more during pulls, and here I'm not really trying to do anything extra. I'm just focusing on healing, and here we popped Apotheosis, and God, I really need to look up that word and see how it's pronounced. I feel like I'm embarrassing myself. Not that it matters, I don't really care, it's just like somebody's probably listening to this and being like incredibly tilted from me not being able to pronounce the word properly. But yeah, just in general, just using, you know, prayer of mending, circle of healing, sanctify, salvation, all of these, all of the good stuff. And then obviously maintaining 5 stacks of flash concentration plus the plus heal spam, right? Heal spam is our main CD. And yeah, here you notice the tank reset the boss so we can get the frost guy, which was very smart actually. I don't know if it's needed, but it looked cool, so I like to mention it. And here things got a little bit dicey. I do not like this mini boss at all as a healer. It is very stressful, to be honest. Because there's one guy constantly ticking down and you get slowed and then you have to move. So I would make sure that we have Sanctify on, and then even Guardian Spirit the dude if you need to, or Tooth him, or Mana Bound Mirror, whatever you have available. These 2 trinkets are very powerful, I feel like, for us. For any healer, to be honest, in M+. Even in raids, but that's another story. And here I actually took a hit, but it's not that bad, it doesn't hurt that bad, it doesn't one-shot, it hurts but it doesn't one-shot. And then the dot, which is fine, we just heal up. Notice how I popped both Desperate Prayer and Fade, which I have Conduit that reduces damage when I fade, so just use your defensives, don't be lazy. Also have health pots, which I don't have on this character, but let's not talk about it. But yeah, just be careful. And then this boss is terrifying. First time healed it with Holy Priest ever. I was very nervous because I know as a disc this boss is pain. But Birkin, luckily the first one went on Birkin, so he just ice blocked. I was trying to deal as much damage as I can during Lost. I should have used Ascended Boon here, but I was I don't know what I was waiting for, because this was a perfect opportunity to use it. And yeah, that was a great opportunity to use it early on in the fight. That would have been a good play. I am actually upset now that I didn't. Would have been so much better. But yeah, as you can see here, I take another dot, so I have my defensives back. Let's see if I'll use them or not. I hope so. I toothed myself. Keep healing, toothed procs. And then Rogue fucks me over a little bit by taking that ball, because that really threw me off, because I had to waste 1 heal on him instead of myself. And here I did use Fade. Let's see if I'll use Desperate Prayer. Click it, please. Click it. Don't be embarrassing. You can do it. Okay, guess not. Maybe next time. And here I take 1 ball. Not very good. I pop him. Then Sanctify. Yeah, that's a little bit of a yikes. As you can see, it's a stressful fight for healing, that's for sure. Especially for healers that aren't very mobile, like I think those are shamans and probably oh, Holy Palas and Mistweavers are kind of mobile, Resto Druids as well. But I know Shamis are not, and I think both priests aren't, although I do feel like as a disc I have a little bit more mobility. Which is weird, I never thought I'll say that, but at least you can cast a couple of instant spells and stuff like that. You don't have instant heals though, so that's a problem. You need to be stationary in order to heal people. And here I repopped Augment Rune. Damn, I was try hard. I really wanted to time this key.
No, it was a mortal who exposed the folly of your edicts.
of the more ruthless Marsworn draws close. Be ready.
Things got a little bit dicey here. I was, doing some ability spamming, the good old ability spam. We actually have a decent toolkit as holies to deal with this. Just like Circle of Healing and Prayer of Mending does a good job. Then, rest of the abilities just maintain 5 stacks so your heal is faster. And here I actually I'm still experimenting a little bit with these abilities. I'm sure that eventually we'll just know which one is the best one, but right now I just want to try them out and see how they feel. Lately I've been taking mana one just for, obviously, well, for, guess what, mana, obviously, but it's been good, although like it's easy to not pick them up as well. Like you just run and you don't pick up the orbs. It happens. Not good that it happens, but it happens. And it's also one more thing to pay attention to, so I would say unless you have noticeable mana issues, on these higher keys, sometimes the fights will last longer. So that is why you need to sometimes have mana. And that's weird. I don't know why we shrouded. I guess he wanted to skip or something. I don't know. But yeah, this guy's easy. This is probably the most like broken guy, and by broken in this case I mean like underpowered. Actually, he's doesn't deal a lot of damage, and just like this mechanic is a complete meme. Like doing 10k in AoE is literally like three global casts, and since we have 5 people, they die almost instantly. It's they need to fix this guy. It's almost too easy. I'm not complaining though. I'm not complaining. If it stays easy, I'll be happy. I found that Pride was much better affix personally. More fun actually. Not sure if it's better, but more fun for sure. But I hated it as disc, to be honest. I really struggled as disc to kill Pride. Like if I had no dome, somebody was gonna die. That is actually the reason why I even switched to Holy Pala. Even though, ironically, Holy Pala isn't that great at dealing with Prides either, but at least you have like a little bit more tools and a lot of defensives, and you have immunity for yourself. You can have potentially 2 beacons, you can Ashen Hollow. There's just a lot more you can do. This boss here is quite scary actually. Not to be underestimated. I talked about Birkin, like here for example. I was asking him like if he wants PI on start of the fight or during the burst phase, so we were like debating what's better. Because we don't know, like, right, because we see 5 million HP, but the DPS changed, even though it's just 1 week in. We got some new items and things changed with new conduits and stuff, so we deal more damage now, so we didn't know how fast he's gonna fall. In this case, I think correct play was to PI at start, because then you will see I got another PI off, and yeah, but I think with this boss was pretty clean if I remember correctly, so I'm just gonna let you guys watch the fight. You know, stack when he does the, what is it called, Imperial Ordinance or whatever. Just don't get clipped by Purifying Blast on multiple people. That's bad, like really bad. And that's about it with this boss. It's not a hard boss. It can get scary though on high key levels, especially on Tyrannical. It has a lot of HP, deals a lot of damage, but we did quite good.
As I peered into Uther's memories, what I saw shook me to the core. But you refuse to see the truth, that the path is flawed, that we serve a lie. And so, I listened to the jailer's words. I learned of the great injustice you and the others thrust upon him, and upon us all. He seeks to free us from the prison we have built for ourselves. And for that, he has earned my loyalty.
So yeah, with these angels, it's mostly about managing cities. You need to talk with a group who cities what, and then you kind of want people to have cities for the boss as well, because it's tyrannical, but you also don't want to let these guys live forever, because they do get scary, especially on the third one, the superpower one, right? And then you can also discuss obviously the order with your guys, but I guess this is the optimal order, like middle, left, right. Most of the people tend to do that order, at least from what I gathered. But yeah, I feel like I could have used oh, there it is. I just used it. I just wanted to say I feel like I could have used the Ascended Boon, because it's gonna be back for the boss, and I guess I was paying attention at the time, because I did end up using it. And I also gave PI to Birkin. Good. I lost my stacks here. That's something you don't want to do. Pretty best. Like, I would say prioritizing keeping your stacks up goes almost over anything, except like maybe like somebody dying because you were casting flash heal rather than some other heal. It's very important because it reduces the speed of our heal. So here I made a mistake. I didn't realize that Rogue was dying. I didn't realize he's dead. He's Necrolord, right? So I pulled this guy claps me and I die. And then obviously it goes on to others, and just such a silly mistake. Goddamn Necrolords, dude, with that ability. They sometimes bait me so hard in raid as well. Like, they die and I just keep healing the fucking ghost. It is what it is. We go on to deal with the last angel. I don't know, are they angels? I don't know, I call them angels. But then again, I call everybody in Bastion angels. It's like big angel area. was a Sanctify, and then I got clapped again. Okay, came in closer to heal, and then I ended up dying. I don't know, that was kind of reckless of me. There was no need for me to get closer. You can heal with these abilities from far away. There's just like, I don't know. As I said, it's so much new things to learn when you play a new class that some of the obvious things escape you because you're focusing on like maximizing the new things. It's easy to make a mistake, but I tried my best. And here we have I actually don't know what it's called. Lost confidence, right? Something like that. Something with confidence. The dispel, just make sure you walk out with it. Get dispelled. The reason why I didn't use their my Mass Dispel is because I remembered I'm gonna need it after this phase, so that would have been a mistake because I wouldn't have it. And I was kind of panicky about my mana. Like if you paid attention, you'll see, you can look at my mana now, it's really low. So that's one of the disadvantages of like priests is just look at how much Mass Dispel and Dispel like takes mana. That's why that conduit can sometimes be very useful. That one that reduces the cost of Dispels. It seems negligible, but in some keys, I swear to God, it's probably the best option. And yeah, I was panicking at it. I didn't even have this mana pot on a holy bar because I usually don't run out of mana as a holy. Got lucky there that the volcanic eruption didn't interrupt me, and we proceed. But yeah, without that pot there, we definitely don't have mana to finish this fight. I'm pretty sure. We'll see it towards the end though, but I'm quite sure. And this here was a very silly mistake by both me and Rogue. I can't believe we died like this. It's quite embarrassing, to be honest. Like, run through. Yikes. But luckily Monk had combat res, so they resed me up. Then we had this. And combat reses are just so important for M+, I feel like. Obviously for raid as well, but like you're never gonna not have a combat res in raid. There's always gonna be somebody who has it. Unless obviously you're doing some very sloppy boss fight and you somehow lose all the people that got combat res, but you know what I mean, like you'll at least have somebody in the group, that's what I mean. It's just very important. It's really scary if you don't, because then any sort of mistake on a tank or healer will mean that you just wipe, and usually wipes mean these time keys most of the time. Not really, but they can most of the time mean that. Yeah, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry for the little bit of a sleepy commentary. I just hope you know, you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully my commentary was at least somewhat useful or interesting to listen to, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye bye.